Living Leesburg. My name is Renee, and we're so glad you joined us today. Our theme for 2025 is Rising Higher, Growing Deeper. And this month, our focus is the flow of coming and going. Today's message is Planting My Intentions, which will be given by our own Reverend Charlene Banks. We are so glad that you joined us today. Please feel free to add to the chat or in the comments any prayer requests or celebrations that you would like to have included later in the service when we provide our community spiritual mind treatment, which is a form of affirmative prayer. We invite you to get comfortable and relax into this moment as we will officially begin our service with this welcoming video.
Please join us as we create our sacred space. We set our intentions of deepening into our awareness and practice of our 5 pillars of spiritual living by lighting this candle in our virtual world. Our first pillar is sacred study, represented by the divine quality of truth. We use this pillar to recognize the importance of an open mind and the power of our minds. The second pillar is affirmative prayer, represented by the divine quality power. This pillar honors the power of prayer in our daily lives. Our third pillar is meditation and the divine quality of peace. This pillar reminds us of the importance of meditation and the peace we feel when we quiet our minds. The fourth pillar is circulation and the divine quality of life. We know that the great law of circulation works in our lives. As we give, so shall we receive. And the fifth pillar is sacred service and the divine quality of love. This pillar affirms our call to be of service to our world as we see through the eyes of love. Let us close our eyes as we bless this sacred space and our time together. As we weave each of these pillars of spiritual living into our service today, may they deepen our own spiritual practices of study, prayer, meditation, circulation, and service, expanding our minds and our hearts to the 5 divine qualities of truth, power, peace, life, and love. We also bless everyone who made our service possible today and everyone in attendance. May the energy of love that is generated here bless everyone abundantly, and so it is.
And so it is indeed. Thank you, Renee, for the welcome, and we bless Tamara as she's visiting her dad in Pennsylvania. So we're about to get into our meditation, and this meditation is all about the breath. So as you take your first grounding breath, make it nice and deep and bring it. Imagine the breath just traveling to your belly area, and we'll hold it there for a little while, and then we'll release, okay? Do that a few times, and I'll guide you further. So releasing everything you've done so far to get to this place where you are right now. Join me in taking a deep breath through your nose. Hold. Exhale through your mouth. Try again, breathe in through the nose. Hold. through the mouth. Let's do it again. In. Hold. Exhale. And return to breathing normally, but following the breath itself as it moves in and out naturally. If the mind wanders, that's okay. Just notice it and bring your attention back to the breath. The breath. It brings in oxygen. That oxygen nourishes our red blood cells. Our red blood cells help with our immune system and so much more. So now as you breathe in, say thank you. Hold and release with gratitude. Imagine the fluids in your body flowing with joy. This new oxygen you're breathing in feels cleaner because it's imbued with your gratitude. And with one final breath, smile internally to your inside. Just smile as you breathe in. And release with a thank you. And so as we bring our attention back into the room, we feel that sense of gratitude expanding to the whole room around us, the room that supports us wherever we are, the home or the building that supports you wherever you are, this planet that supports all of us. And we give grace, we give gratitude, we give thanks, and so it is. Okay, so we have a couple of videos from Leah. This is the first one. Okay, that might be the second one. Hold on. Okay, yeah, that was the first one. Sorry. Okay, there we go.
This is a song by Melanie Demore, and the refrain is simply, say yes, say alright, say yes, alright, say yes. Say yes, say alright, say yes, alright, say yes. Sing it with me. Say yes, say alright, say yes, alright, say yes. Say yes, say alright, say yes, alright, say yes. Say yes, say alright, say yes, alright, say yes. Say yes, say alright, say yes, alright, say yes. Say yes, say alright, say yes, alright, say yes. Hold your head up and say yes. Keep your heart wide open and say yes. Seek the light and let it shine. Alright, alright, say yes. Say alright, say yes. Alright, say yes. One more time. Say yes. Say alright, say yes. Alright, say yes. Keep your mind straight and say yes. Don't hesitate and say yes. Hold the line, we're right on time. Alright, say yes. Say alright, say yes. Alright, say yes. One more time, let's sing. Say yes. Say alright, say yes. Alright, say yes. Say yes, say yes, say yes, say yes.
Wow, I love it. I know, right? I see in the chat. Wow, absolutely wow. Whew, Leah, you never disappoint. So we've got the title, Planting My Intentions. And we had the breathing meditation. And now Leah says, say yes. Now, could it be that all of these things are working together? Absolutely, Spirit always does work together. Even if you don't plan it, I purposely don't listen to her songs. When she sends them to me, I drop them in the PowerPoint and I'm like, I don't want to know. I want to be surprised. Oh, it's so good. So, planting my intentions, you hear a little bit of springtime in that title, and it's no mistake. It's the 3rd, the 4th. Okay, it's late in March, and the spring equinox is upon us in the Northern Hemisphere. And what does that mean? It means that we will see blooming right now the fruits of the seeds that we've sown already. And I have a horticulturist extraordinaire in the chat right now, and I do wonder if Aaron, just type in the chat if it's true, Aaron, that if I plant seeds right now, are they going to germinate just as nicely as the seeds that I should have already planted in order to get those daffodils? Let me know in the chat. Do I get some stuff even if I plant them now? I think I might. Cuz here's how seeds work. We love to talk about manifesting the life that we want. In Science of Mind, we discuss that there's a way, almost formulaic way of achieving what it is that our heart desires. And it really is just about planting those seeds. That's good. But is it only about planting the seeds? Notice that there are some other things that must coincide with planting a seed. Now, to be clear, let's just hope that everybody on the line, everybody listening, has already done the analogy correlation. When I talk about seeds, I'm talking about your desires, what you want. And it could be you're planting seeds without knowing it, because what you want is sort of a default setting. It's a factory setting for us as humans on the planet. If you were born into, thanks, Aaron, the answer is yes. If we plant them now, we'll get some stuff. Okay, cool. So if I have a thought, an idea, or an unexamined way of being, then I am planting seeds and I'm getting the life that is default going to happen if I don't choose differently. So if I'm born into an affluent family, I will have all of the accoutrement of that family's consciousness, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Alternatively, if I'm born to a family in the ghetto, which would presume they broke, is fine, I will then start to display that similar type of outcomes, because it's based on what we're thinking about, what we're being about, how are we being in the world, and then that beingness, whether we are consciously intending it or just kind of focused on it and whoops, there it is. Either way, the universe always says yes, which I love Leah's song, say yes, say yes. The universe is always saying yes to what it is that we are putting our attention on. And so that's a beautiful place to begin our journey of enlightenment, awareness, awakening, what do you want to call it? It's a perfect way to begin creating the life that you want to live. And so in our classes, in our trainings, in our teachings, and just everyday studying of anything metaphysical or any of the ancient wisdom that has been around, it always comes down to the breath, breathing, and meditation. It always comes back to meditation. No matter what I study, these people, every single path that I have studied, and I've studied a lot of the wisdom traditions, not every single one, I'm sure there's more, but of the 12 that I looked at, every tradition says, you gotta sit, you've gotta focus, you gotta go within. Now, some traditions have a lot of breathing techniques, and this is important. Watch how this works. So you want to plant a rose bush. Congratulations, good idea. Where are we going to put it? You look around your garden, you look around your yard, and you decide that that one spot would be perfect for your rose bush. Fantastic. Now, someone like Erin would say, hold on, let's do a soil test. Let's figure out what the conditions are. Because people who are good at plants, they're aware that the seed itself is not going to thrive in just any environment. You are going to set yourself up for disappointment if you're in the middle of a desert and all you have is that dirt that feels like sand because it's mostly sand and it's not really dirt. Go ahead, put your rose bush in there. Probably not going to work out. So what is the story with the environment? It the environment in this discussion, good. Erin will help. I should have called her in and said, Erin, I need you to come up here and side by side. But it's the analogies I want you to work with. Listen, here's the deal. When we're planting physical seeds, there are conditions that will make that seed germinate properly. And that seed is going to sprout roots that are going to go deep. Eventually, we're going to see the fruits of that root, and we'll see it shoot up. Whether I'm talking about a plant or a tree, whatever it is that's in some soil, the conditions of the soil are going to determine the level and the degree and the magnificentness, if that's a word, of the fruited results. So I don't want to actually, in this talk, I think it's great to learn. I can't wait for Erin to give me a talk about seeds, soils, and plants when it comes to my yard. But let me tell you something. If I make the one-to-one analogy for spirit, sorry, the dog is quite thirsty. If I do that, if I create that analogy, I walk, the seed is my intention. What it is that I want, where's my focus, what do I want to experience? I'm going to put it in some soil. That's going to be my consciousness. That's going to be the part of me that has accepted and just says, okay, let's do that. And it's going to be this, this seed is not going to be happy. It's not going to be free to just germinate if what's inside my consciousness is, no, you can't do that. You're too old. You're too fat. You're too skinny. You're too young. You don't have enough money. You don't have enough backing. You don't have enough followers, whatever that means. Here's the idea. Are we planting these ideas, these rich seeds that are sure to grow into great fruited plants? Are we trying to put that seed in a hostile environment? And sometimes that hostile environment is our very internal state of mind. What we think about every day, what we see when we look out, what conversations we engage in when we're talking about what's going on in the world. So it's not going to thrive that well also if these negative thoughts, which act like weeds, which are also planted in the same soil, which is pulling the nutrition that otherwise would have been available to our intended seed. So it's not good enough to just want what we want. It's also important to weed out ideas and thoughts and negativity that is patently against what it is we want. Even if those things are not as aware, we're not as aware of those things as we probably should be. How do we know that there's part of us that thinks we're not good enough? These are good questions. These are really good questions. So, I do know this, though, that I love that the whole year we're talking about growing deeper, rising higher. Now, you could take that the other way, rising higher first, and growing deeper as the second part of the phrase. You could flip it, growing deeper first, and then rising higher as the second piece of the phrase. It works. If you're talking about trees that grow as high as they do deep, you could start to wonder, well, which one happens first? And exactly how does it happen? And you could get quite distracted in how it works. But I would say that that's a fool's errand and possibly the ego's distraction to try to get you to wonder, how does it work? Because only when I understand exactly how it works will I be happy. This is a fool's errand. Nobody knows how it works. Nobody knows. It just does. Renee and I were chatting on the line before you joined us, and it was great. We were laughing because I was mentioning how I would love to grow the center because I'm going to be stepping in as the official Reverend Charlene, spiritual leader, however they call it, the actual senior minister, of CSL Leesburg. Now, we haven't signed any paperwork, But I was mentioning to Renee how I do have an intention. I want to grow. I want to grow us so that we're bigger, so that we're more, there are more of us partaking in this beautiful teaching. And it's a delicate mix. How do you do that? And I know I can't stand on the corner and threaten people. You're going to go to hell if you don't come to CSLEs. But I don't know. We might end up with more people if I scare them, but that's not the point. That's not what we do. It's a little more subtle than that. And there's a couple of things that I know to do, and I know how to teach other people to do when you're trying to manifest anything that you want. I don't care if it's a bigger center with more people and more abundant numbers or whatever it is you want. Whatever it is that you want, you simply have to hold that vision inside you as if it's real. And that's the environment that we're talking about, the environment. When we have a vision for what we do want, and we take it and we hold it, while at the same time doing what we need to do to get rid of the naysaying, nagging, I'm not good enough, I'm not, the beliefs in anything opposite of that. You got to do both things. Plant the seed, pull the weeds. It rhymes. I love it when things rhyme. So you plant the seed, that's not enough. You pull the weeds, and that's not enough. Then you water it, you provide it, you put it in the right spot so it gets just the right amount of sun, and then you leave it alone. Because the thing is, the universe knows how to get that thing to you. The universe already knows. In fact, the idea about what you want, it comes from the fact that it already exists. You couldn't have thought it up if it wasn't already thought in the mind of the divine. So now what you're doing is you're saying, over here, it matches me, come on in. You're just creating a vibration, an energy to match what it is that you would like to experience. But you got to get there first so that when it arrives, it's a vibrational match. There's no bumping up against. That's the part we don't know how it works. That's the piece. I mean, you can look at how, okay, Renee's example, which I asked her, could I share it? She said they did a thing. They were looking at her throat, and there was some sort of study, and they were looking with a certain type of spectrograph to see how swallowing works. And then they gave her something. They gave her something and said, okay, swallow it. And she's like, hold on. It's not ready to be swallowed. And then we were talking about how does it know that it's ready to be swallowed? It's crazy. Like, that's a thing we don't have to explain. You know when you're eating that piece of food, go ahead and keep chewing, it's not ready yet. There's no conscious awareness of exactly how much, what is the level of viscosity versus non-viscous tissue, and what is the degree, nobody asked that question. It's just like, yeah, I'm gonna need to chew it a little more. And then you just swallow it. Now here's the thing. Even the doctor was like, yeah, we have no idea how it works. We just can watch it. We can watch it. This is true about anesthesia. They have no idea. This is terrifying. They have no idea. Why, if they give you some drugs, a little bit of it will put you under. But they can watch how under you are, give you a little more or back off a little bit. They don't know. They don't know what is it about that medicine that in that point where it goes to this section and then that, nobody knows. But they just can watch it. This is true about our ability to manifest. We don't know how, but we have so many stories about a person. They're walking across the street and they got this idea, you know what? I'm just going to back up and go to the curb again. I'm just going to do it. And then whoosh, a bus goes by. How did I know that? Well, there's something going on where we don't have to process everything through our little brain cells. We don't have to know everything, contrary to popular opinion. Because once something can be known, then that's a congealed static thing. It's only that. And then you have to really struggle to back off of what has been known to experience the unknown to create something more. It's a whole thing. The minute you get something, whether it's a thought becoming a thing, whether it's a dream becoming a reality, whether it's a seed becoming a plant, that existence, that thing that you created, comes from infinite possibilities, not just that one. Everything you look at, when you look around, it all got here out of infinite possibilities. It is one thing, but there's an infinite number of other things. So the brain is connected to the body, and it just does. There's a connection there. Something going on in your brain can send message to your gut, and the gut sends a message back to the brain. There's a whole study. People study it all the time, so they could watch the physical structure that is our bodies do whatever it does. And there's something even more fascinating, because the body of humanity, perhaps, is all operating, and it's operating, and we're one, but we can't really see that we're one. But it's strange how you think of somebody and there they call you. Did the thought precede the phone call? Or did the phone call, some part of you knew they were calling? Did you think about each other and that person called you? Is everybody connected? Yes, to all of those things. So then I have to ask you this. Just because you don't understand it does not mean that you cannot have the thing that you want. In fact, there is a Eckhart Tolle, my fave, he says, when you pay more attention to what you do as you're doing it than you do to the future result of the thing that you want to achieve by doing the thing, like when you pay attention to what you do, more attention to what you do than the future result of what you're doing, you break the old ego's conditioning. He says, your doing is not only much more effective because you're in the moment, it's infinitely more joyful and infinitely more satisfying when you pay more attention to what you do than to the future that you're working toward. You're going to be much more present in the current moment and more joyful and more satisfied in this moment, because that sure is better than working in a way that feels like toil and hoping that this better be worth it when we get to the end. Now, this is what I call who saw the rabbit? All right. So there's a study, or no, there was a story I heard. It was a story, I may have told you this before. It was a story of a dog that's running through the woods. The dog saw a rabbit. And the dog saw the rabbit and started chasing the rabbit. Now, I have walked my dog on several occasions, and they're cute little bunnies. They're so cute. When my dog sees that bunny, and that bunny sees the dog that saw her or him, that bunny turns tail and runs. Now, why is the bunny's tail white? See, I think it just makes it easier for the dog to chase the bunny. So there goes the dog, running through the forest, chasing a bunny with a little tail. And the bunny's hopping around and the dog's chasing it. Meanwhile, other dogs are nearby in this world where there's no dog owners, there's no leash laws, and there's no pooper scooper laws either. Anyway, other dogs see that a dog is running and chasing something. Now, they haven't seen the rabbit, but they see the dog running, so they all jump in, and they're running too, and everybody's running. Now, I imagine at this moment, if you zoomed in on a couple of the followers, they'd be looking at each other. Why are we running? I don't know, but it's exciting. Let's just run. We're running. I don't know what we're chasing. Hope it's good when we get there. I have a question. Pause this story. How likely is it that the dogs that didn't see the rabbit maintain the course? How long are they willing to stick with this? Running through the forest. It's tiring. Have you ran anywhere? It's tiring. How long? I mean, maybe a minute, maybe 2 minutes. I feel like after an amount of time has passed, you might find that there's only one dog still running. And that dog would be the one that saw the rabbit. That's the one that's still running because he got a vision of what could be. And now this dog is not, I think maybe in the story, the dog is considering, oh, and it's going to be good when I get there. But the fact that he saw that vision, felt that vision, probably tasted what a rabbit tastes like, which is kind of weird for me to even say. Anyway, that dog has created the conditions for achieving what he wants. And he has the energy to push him through. Everybody else who didn't really have the initial urge, they just kind of were caught up in the moment. That doesn't stick long. And so those would be the people who, oh gosh, well, how long is this journey? Will I ever get there? I mean, do I even want it? I mean, they're questioning themselves. They're not really motivated toward it. So I just always ask, did you see the rabbit? What are you doing? So and back to Renee and my conversation as I close, I can't believe time's already up. It's crazy. But as I come back to that story, and the question was, how do you build such a center where people want to give their time? Time is precious. It's the most precious commodity that we all will have. And this is a spiritual center with volunteers who hopefully help out and do something, but you don't pressure them. I know better than to pressure people because that's how you get them to go. You want them to see the rabbit. This is how you get it. This is how we do it. We all have to work together or get together and create a vision that each of us has a glimpse of what it is. And then sure, I'll help out. Actually, I'll make that a priority. Why? Because I saw the rabbit. In fact, we should have like a little song. I saw the rabbit. Too far, too much. All right. But you get the idea. I would love to be part of a mission that's bigger than me, that serves many people, that helps them get through these crazy times right now by remembering who we are, why we're here, what gifts can we bring, and everything is nourished by a community that does the breathing, that does the movement of oxygen into a body that would otherwise have been stressed out. We have practices that bring our energy to a calm state of awareness, of focus. We're growing deeper in our practices. We're rising higher in our ability to support each other. And we're all individually awesomely non-stressed, awesomely working through our lives with these practices. And then as a group, we make the world better with our tiny little pocket. There's tiny little pockets springing up everywhere. Why not us? So I just hope that you feel it too, that today we are doing the planting of our intentions. This is the rabbit we see. And then as we move through the day, we do what Eckhart Tolle says, paying more attention to what we do, being joyful about it, and then allowing the results to be what they need to be. All right, let's go within with a final prayer. Let me check to see if there's any. Yeah, no particular prayer requests, but I feel like the earth is asking for prayer, so let's go within. Breathing a nice deep breath of gratitude and of just calmness, just knowing that everything is okay. That even as we look more closely at our condition right here, right now, we are more than okay. We are divinely led. We are blessed. We're so grateful that we are part of something bigger than what can be seen with our two eyes. So in this space, we simply rest into that intuitive knowingness that is within each of us, right at our very core. That as this breath moves in and out of our core being, all of our energy centers are aligned. Everything inside our being is aligned, and our energy is pure. We are the right environment for our intentions. We are connected to each other. We are connected to the divine. We couldn't be disconnected if we tried. But the knowing that there's something bigger than each of us that also unites all of us, that is also within each of us, we rest. Doesn't it feel good to know that the striving can cease, where the acceptance of our true nature can begin? That true nature is, we are divine, we are love, we are compassion. Where the world might seek for us to rise up in anger, we rise up in compassion and in love. We stand for those things that we know will serve humanity. We give our attention and we give our power to the things we do want. And we do not pay attention to or absorb ourselves with anything that would seek to bring power away from us or to put us into any sense of fear or less than. We simply acknowledge that fear is simply a lack of love, so we flood it with love. Not seeking to bypass negative thoughts, but seeking to bring those thoughts in and to shower them with the truth of divine. The truth of the divine as shown upon a fearful thought is a thought that dissipates into the nothingness from whence it came. We bring in all parts of ourselves, even the parts we're not so proud of, even the parts that are not so great. Even that part of us can come on in and be shown the love, the compassion, the kindness, the power, the joy that is also within us. And if we're honest, it's the truth about us. Watch how the littleness goes away because it wasn't real in the first place. It is from this sense of power that we rise and we move into the world and we become that thing that we know we want to see. And we are that light, we are love, we are compassion. And we do this in every moment, intentionally, even when it's tempting not to. So I give gratitude for this awareness. I'm so grateful to be able to talk about it because then I can be about it. And I'm so grateful to be about it in this community. So I release my word into this soil that is so rich. I just let it go. I let it be. And I know the universe says, say yes. And so it is. Amen. Ashe.
Good morning, CSL Leesburg. We've sung this song together a number of times, and I hope that means that today you will feel ready and willing to sing it with me. Maybe not at the top of your lungs, but with all of your heart. CSL Leesburg. We've sung this song together a number of times, and I hope that means that today you will feel ready and willing to sing it with me. Maybe not at the top of your lungs, but with all of your heart. Keep your heart wide open, though the waves won't push you around. You got to keep your heart wide open. keep your heart wide open, though the waves won't push you around. You got to keep your heart wide open till your faith brings you back to solid ground. I'm gonna keep your heart. I'm gonna keep wide open. I'm gonna keep my heart wide open. All the ways wanna put you around. All the ways wanna push me around. Got to keep. I'm gonna keep your heart. I'm gonna keep wide open. I'm gonna keep my heart wide open till your faith, till my faith brings me back to solid ground. Till my faith brings me back to solid ground. I'm gonna keep your heart. I'm gonna keep wide open. I'm gonna keep my heart wide open. All the ways wanna put you around. All the ways wanna push me around. Got to keep. I'm gonna keep your heart. I'm gonna keep wide open. I'm gonna keep my heart wide open till your faith, till my faith brings me back to solid ground. Till my faith brings me back to solid ground.
Yay! Thank you, Leah. Always so good. That song
Good morning.
is a bop. Okay, moving on. And I don't have my script in front of me, but I've heard Tamara do this 100 times, so I could do it too. So I love that we were able to discuss the rabbit. I'm so glad I was able to tell you that story. And it's time to pass the basket, if you will. So as you know, that our center has a whole lot of overhead. We pay for a lot of technology. We do a lot of things. So your donations are really special. I'm so grateful. I don't get to say thank you as often as I should, because Tamara normally does this. I do. As the spiritual director, I'm so grateful, because without your donations, how could any of this exist? So please choose the way to donate. I've got several methods on the screen here. And no matter how you choose to give, I would love for you to bless your blessing, even if it's an automated. I know I send mine in automated. It just comes out every week. Listen, that still, I'm going to bless it. I'm going to hold it in my hand as if it were a physical check. I will hold my hand over my heart and simply say, and I hope you say this with me, the presence of spirit within me blesses everyone I meet, tends to heal everything I touch, brings gladness into the life of everyone I contact. Therefore, I am a blessing to myself, to humankind, and to the day in which I live. And so it is. Announcements, I figure I will say again, we are on Spotify. I try to upload after every talk to take it, kind of produce it a bit so it's not crazy. I will be removing the little sections out, you know, the parts that I'm talking about, so that it's clean, and then put it on Spotify. All you have to do is go to Spotify and search for CSL Leesburg. We call this talk the Spiritual Tune-Up. And you can just do the QR code if you'd like as well. And every other Saturday, we meet and we discuss all things dream-like. Of course, this slide doesn't really have the most recent date or the future date. So 2 weeks from yesterday, we will be doing it again. So do the math. I'll fix that later, sorry. And it is now time to do our blessing. Now, as we bless ourselves and each other and the world, we know that we won't hang up the Zoom call. And if you're watching on other modalities, whether it's Facebook Live, YouTube Live, or on our website, as soon as we end the live stream, come on over to the Zoom room. Let us know what you thought. We call it Pearls, and we treat it as our little morning coffee hour. It's how we all keep up with each other and see how things are going. So let's bless. Let's end this service with a nice blessing. I would love for you to come off of mute if you can, because I'll say it and then you say it back to me. The first one, I am love.
I'm love.
Yeah, it's very nice. I thought crickets? Crickets? I got this sound. Okay. Ready? Everybody off mute. You are love.
You are
You
love.
are love.
You are. Now, raise your hands in the air, wave them like you just don't care, and say, it's all love.
It's all
It's
love.
all love.
It's all love. All right, I'll see you on Zoom for coffee hour. But if you can't come to coffee hour, I get it. We'll see you next Sunday. Thanks for coming. Bye now. Not clear yet.